We're going to be going into Frosted Flowers, the newest release from hot off the press. And just to show you something that you can do with these, this will capture your eye. So please come play with us. Well, before we get into the projects, I just want to show you what is in this collection. So Frosted Flowers, as you heard, we do have 6x6 pattern paper, we have chipboard, we have cutting dies, as you would imagine. We have 12x12 pattern cardstock with 12 double-sided papers and 56 cutouts. I didn't even tell you the 6x6. You get 4 of each pattern cardstock plus 112 cutouts. We also have the solid cardstock, and it includes white. As you can see, there are 12 sheets. They are double-sided, and you get 12 colors. That's very nice. And there are also 31 die cuts that just pop right out. They are all matted for you, and all of this is a wonderful collection. Now, before we get started, I do want to share with you a scrapbook page. This is a 12x12, and it will just kind of show you some of the things that you can do. And I do appreciate the torn edges with this giant mat that is supporting this absolutely charming photograph. And this is using the cutting dies in a beautiful bouquet across the bottom here. And this is one of the cutouts and another of the cutouts behind it. And isn't that pretty? Some of the dazzles on the side of it. And actually, I think this is one of the die cuts too. So that's great. Okay, let me show you our first card, and we'll get in closer to see it. This definitely has a frosty winter look to it. And you can see that kind of, again, frosty green. And this comes from this sheet. Now, it has the poinsettias on this side. They're kind of ghosted back. The front side has some poinsettias that are more vivid, but it is this side. And Teresa has used this area of the paper. Now, as you know, you can get 4 cards out of every 12x12 sheet. And she has elected to use this one. Her card measures 5 by 6.5, and the fold is at the top. So she cut her paper to fit on the area here, leaving the white border. And so that's going to work quite nicely with this. Now, with this, she also has an area right here that she wanted to use, and it's a little bit more of the blue tone. She used this sheet, and I thought it was pretty clever that she used this border area and simply trimmed it to fit. You can see it's kind of a little more lighter blue on this edge, and you can see that right there. And that was just glued, about maybe 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch from the right-hand side. And then she placed some dazzles, and the dazzles are from the Fancy Border Pearl and Pastel. Now, this is showing the gold on top, but obviously she used the silver pearl on each side, and that just adds a beautiful look. Again, it's keeping with that very frosted feeling. Now, there is a cutout there, and this is called Be Filled with Wonder, and it's right here on this sheet of cutouts. It's in the pattern cardstock, and it's already matted for you. And that green works beautifully with this kind of light green, and she's just tucked it right next to that sheet, or that strip right here. So that's going right there, and now she's ready to do some embellishing. Now, the embellishing, as you can see, is with the cutting die. So let me pull that and show it to you. And what it has with the flowers is that the flowers are here. They're pretty full. They have some lines in them, and then there's a backing piece. And she very smartly, I think, used vellum for the back. So our vellum comes with 4 sheets in a package, and I just have 2 sheets here, but you're going to get 4, and it's a white vellum, and that's very nice. So she die cut that out of the vellum, and then she used white glitter paper, and our glitter comes 4 in a package, and you can see that she's used it and simply glued those together. Then she chose the pistachio green glitter for her leaves and her branches. Isn't that pretty? Then she used silver glitter for her these kind of branches that have the berries. So these are the three that she selected: silver, white, and pistachio. And I think it's a really fun combination. And you can see right here just how that plays together. And I thought that was fun. Now, to finish it off, she used our silver pearl jewel dazzles in the center of her flowers. And it just creates a really nice combination that I don't know that I've seen before. So I shared that with you. Now on the inside of her card, so she's got the green, little touch of the frosted blue. On the inside of her card, she's gone more toward the blue. And in this, she has used one of the cutouts from the package. And here it is, this one, where she's turned it on its side. She's matted it on the blue and simply placed it in the center of her card inside. And she's added one of the die cuts, the happy birthday, simply glued it down, and then she repeated the process that she has in the front of her card with the white glitter backed on the vellum with the silver, and just had it just finishing off right there. Very pretty. You like it? I like it. Okay, now we're going to go to the card that I showed you in the very beginning. And here it is. Isn't that diamond dust just luscious? Okay, now this too is a landscape card with the fold at the top, 5 by 6.5. And what Teresa did is she used our 6 by 6 collection. So this is the paper that she started with, and you can see it doesn't cover the entire front of the card, and it doesn't take the whole 6 by 6 sheet, but it's just this part of it, so you can see how that works. And it goes right up to here, so it has those little wisps of flowers at the top, works nicely. She did mat it on the solid cardstock. Let me bring in the sheet that she used. There. Everything is coordinated. It just makes it so much easier. And that was glued down. However, she did use the white ribbon, and in that white ribbon set, oh, here it is. There you go. You can see that. The white ribbon set is going just 2 pieces. These are the 1/4 inch ribbons. They start from the left, and they've been knotted in 2 different lengths. By the way, you can find all of the specific measurements down below. Just click on whatever card you're interested in, or you can click on all of them. And over on the right-hand side, you're going to see the instructions. You can print them off, or you can just look at them. And the instructions stay there, so they are there forever. And so you can just take a look at that. So that's what she's done. She's glued them down, and then she's gone into the chipboard. Now the chipboard, as you know, there are, let me see, there are, I believe, 19 pieces on the chipboard. And Teresa is using, for this card, these fuller flowers. They have more, they're not outlined, they're more solid. And she's doing that because of a look that she wants. So I'm going to bring my craft mat in so that I can share with you her process. Now, she did pull them out of the backing, as I've done here, and I'm just going to show you with one of them. And she used the Prism ink pads. Now, I've already used the Vintage Rose. You do need to just do it several times to get it covered. And then she went out with Earth Red on the edges, simply on the edges, to give it a little dimension. So I'm just going to duplicate that. So you're just going to tap it on the edges. And the idea is to give it a bit of dimension. And that's all. So you're just tapping it. And can you see the difference? The before and after? And that's all you do. Okay? Now, to get that diamond dust on it, you can use a scrap piece of paper. I'm using a liner for a coffee filter. Probably the only thing I do with coffee since I don't drink coffee. So you're going to use your specialist glue, and you want to cover the front of your chipboard with it. So I'm going to put some on, and then I'm going to spread it with my finger like this and get it to really cover my whole flower. And then I'm going to dump it in there like so. Okay, now the glue will dry clear, so I'm going to let that happen. When it's all clear, I'm going to glue it to the front of my card. Okay, now that leaves the leaves and also these little berry pieces. For those, when you go to color them, you're probably going to need a paintbrush because the berries are part of the piece. And so you can't just tap it with your ink pad. So you do want to remove them, but for the ease of doing it quickly here, I'm going to leave them connected into my backing, okay? So you would remove them. Okay, so I'm just tapping my paintbrush into the ink pad, and I'm just going to dab it onto the chipboard. That way it allows me to control the placement of the ink, and that way I don't get the berries involved. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put I'm going to put glue over them, and then I'm going to dip them into my diamond dust, let it dry, and then I will glue them onto my card. In fact, you can see that this is almost dry because it's almost clear. So it doesn't take very long. Okay, let me get all of this cleared away. And how pretty is that? Now, if you are going to mail this, you might just want to put a piece of cardstock over the top of it. Okay, that's all you need to do. We did add some dazzles, sending hugs up there, so we didn't do this only for the holidays. We did it for any time. Just really pretty there. Okay, now we're going to open this up. So we've got it very reddish on the front, but on the inside, we've got a little bit more blue going on. So what Teresa did is she took this piece of 6x6 cardstock, and she just used the top part of it, trimmed it, matted it on this blue. Here we go. And glued it to the top part of her card. She did add a ribbon, the same ribbon that she had in the front, and then she added "Keeping You in My Thoughts," and that's already matted, so you don't have to add anything, and glued that down here. And then another piece of chipboard, she used this one. Isn't that pretty? And she used the red and also the lily pad on this and the diamond dust to go down at the bottom. Isn't that just lovely? I love it. I hope you do too. Okay, now we're going to go to our next card, which has a surprise inside. Let me show you. Okay, let me get stuff out of the way. Okay, here we go. Now this has a belly band, but I'm going to remove this so I can show you what's going on. So this is a gatefold, as you can see. Do you want to see the surprise inside? Well, let me show you. I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to look at that. How fun is that? Definitely a surprise inside with that popping out, and it will stand up like so. So we're going to do this step by step, okay? Now, when you get your cards, if you buy your cards from us, they come flat. They're already scored in the middle, but you're going to need to do these 2 score lines. So what you do is you measure 2.5 inches from the left and 2.5 inches from the right, and you score them. Now, we do like to use a Hunky Dory scoreboard because it's just doggone easy. So you lift up the bone folder, and the measurements are right along the top. Go 2.5 inches, just do that. Flip it over, 2.5 inches, do that. Then if you remove that, you've got the bone folder to press along and just make it easy. We like easy. But any bone folder, whatever you use to do your scoring is going to work, I'm sure, just fine. Okay, now, as we have showing you this, please notice that this piece of paper meets in the middle. So what Teresa did is she took this paper, that's frosted florals, and cut it to the measurement that's in the directions that's down below. Cut one piece, and then she cut it in half and glued that each half to each of the gates in this gatefold card, making sure that they met in the center. And then she used the thin line pearl and pastels package to place the silver ones, 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. And I'm hoping that you can see those. They're just a really pretty addition. They just add a touch of polish. So that's what she's done on the front of her card. Now for the inside, before we talk about this, let's talk about these 4 panels, okay? So while the front of it is very blue, the inside is very green. So what she did is she took this paper, which has these kind of ghosted back poinsettias. It's on the back side of this brighter poinsettia. But this is the one that she used. And again, she took this piece and kind of treated it as one, measured it and cut it in half, and used each piece right here. Now, these do not bridge the gap. They are 2 separate pieces, but you see the design kind of goes right along, okay? So those 2 are the patterns. These 2 are the solids, and the solid is right here. So same measurement on all 4 of them, of course, and they just go beautifully right there. Same thing, you're going to do the thin line dazzles at the top. Now this time it's 1 at the top and 2 at the bottom. On the front, it was 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Just a minor difference, but it's kind of nice. Okay, now remember on the first of that last card, it used the more solid of the chipboard. Wherever my chipboard went, there it is. This time, Teresa's using the more open pieces, but she has a trick, and that trick is to use the sparkle pen. I think that we're the only company that offers them individually. And so what you do is you just pull that open and you simply go over the chipboard. I would do it before you attach it to your card. That way, if any, if you kind of go over it and get some, you don't want to get it on your card. Okay, so you want to get that done before you put it on your card. You can see the 2 there. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then she used 2 of the tri-blend markers. This is the ice blue and the dull green. And you can see the ice blue. Now, the tri-blend markers, if you're not aware of them, you get 3 shades of the color in each of the pens, which is kind of neato. You can see dark to light and dark to light. So she's used the frosty and the winter. And aren't they gorgeous? Very, very pretty. And then this is another of the chipboard also. So you can see that dull green, I think it's called dull green. I almost hate to say that, has been used on that piece, and they're just glued at the top. So you've got something going on all of the, or on 3 of the 4. Okay, now let's talk about this piece. This is 6 by 1 1/4. It's got the 1/2 inch extra sticky tape because when you've got a 6 by 1 1/4, then you're going to measure a 1/2 inch on each side, score it, put the 1/2 inch extra sticky tape, and then you're going to fold it back. Then this is going to go, after you've got your papers on it, this is going to go in the center of each side, just like that. Now, I was wondering, why did she put foam tape right there? Because I thought, well, that's really kind of odd. I'll tell you why. So you don't make a mistake, because you can see it's pretty important that that only be attached, only be foam taped in the middle. So that's going to be your fail-safe device. So you've got only foam tape there. That's really a good thing to have. So this piece comes from right here. In fact, you turn it over, and then you're going to mat it onto this. Whoops, it's going to get matted first on silver. Here we go. We've got our silver cardstock, and then onto the green. And then you're going to cut that strip, this strip, out of the same green. Okay? And you can see that flash. And that flash is going to be supported by the dazzle that's there. And this comes out of the Merry Christmas and More dazzles. So that joy is there, just really pretty. So you've got lots of things going on, but we're not done. We're not done. Okay, so let me see if I can find the, let's see, where is the, oh my goodness. Oh, here it is. Okay, here is that belly band. So the Season's Greetings is also from that same dazzle pack. In fact, I want to point out that this dazzle pack has extra things. There's holly here. You can see it in the corners here. There are stars, and she's used those. So on this piece, and I've got a little note to me, the belly band is 11 inches long, and it's out of the solid cardstock. And then she's cut 2 pieces from the same sheet that was on the front of her card. And when you do the belly band and you wrap it around your card, please make sure that you do not wrap it tightly, because you really want to be able to make sure that this is going to slide. So go ahead and bring your strip around to the front and overlap it a little bit, but make sure that it can slide, because you don't do yourself any favor unless it's loose. Okay? Then you're going to take a piece of the, in fact, you're going to use this one right here. Yep, you're going to use the other side of it. There you go. You're going to use this one. You're going to just do the same thing that you did on the inside. Mat it on the silver, then put it on the green, attach it to the belly band, and use the Season's Greetings. Do the same thing with the chipboard that you did on the inside, using the ink pad and using the thin line dazzles. And you have got an amazing card. Do this for someone who is very special, because this is a wow card. This is a drop dead gorgeous card. Okay. Okay, we have one more card for you. And this is a fun card. Let me show you. Kind of a special card too. Well, they're all special in their own way. So this is to someone special, and it is an easel card. Look at that. Very fun. But it is not too difficult to make at all, or not too time consuming. I don't think any cards are difficult, but not time consuming. Now again, when you have your card from us, this is our regular card. It's scored in the middle. Turn it this way and measure 1.5 inches on each side. And then Teresa has made these dark so you can see them. So just cut along that line and cut here. And that's going to give you this center piece. And then bring this part, fold it in half, because that's going to be your top flap. Then we're going to cover the inside first, okay? And the inside is going to get covered with this piece. And isn't this pretty? Doesn't that look frosty? So simply glue this to the inside of your card. And the way that we do that is you just put glue on the inside of your card, position this along 2 edges, turn the piece back, and then turn it over and trim it to fit. That way you don't have to measure anything. Then you see these rounded edges. Well, Crafter's Companion has done this neat-o tool, and you can get 3 different corner rounds out of it. So just let me show you. So here's one. They are measured on here. So there's one that's just a tiny corner. And there is another. This is the corner that looks like she might have used. And here is another corner. So you get 3 choices. Yeah, so that was the one that she used, this one, the more rounded one. And it's just that hard. So you might even want to do it with a felt tip pen so that you know which one you've got. So it's just super simple, but cover it with paper first and then hit your corner and it'll take care of it. So you want to do all 4 of them because they'll all be open. Now, you do want to cover that straight flap. So you have the additional paper. You just want to go ahead and use it. That will work nicely. Then you want to cut another piece that's going to work. And Teresa used the other side of the paper. And you can see that that's the area that she used. So you're going to cut that. The direction or the measurements are in the directions down below. So bring that. And then she also went over the edge of it with Stormy Night and her blending brush, okay? So you remember how to do that. Place this on your craft mat, just dip it in, and then just go over the edges. That'll just give you the look that she has right here. Now, when you go to attach this, be sure to attach only the bottom of this to the bottom of your flap. That will work perfectly. To Someone Special, well, the To Someone Special is one of our die cuts, and it's right there. Teresa did add a white ribbon from our ribbon pack. She also added some of these from the cream collection from 49 and Market. We love their ribbons, or their flowers. And she did put, remember the sparkle pen that we used with just the previous project? Well, she did use that on those flowers, so just to give it a little bit of sparkle. So that's kind of nice. Another thing that you can do. Now on the inside, the Keep On Sparkling, that is also, well, that's not a die cut. That is a cutout from the 12 by 12. So that's right here. The Love You, however, that is a die cut. And you need to foam tape it because that is going to be our piece that's going to hold our easel up. So very easy, very simple to do. And because you're using our cards, you've got envelopes for everything. So that works out quite nicely. Well, I think this is a wonderful celebration of all the things, or some of the things that you can do with our frosted flowers collection. Perfect for winter. Now, you can certainly use them for Christmas, but you can use them for the celebration of everything this time of year. All the way through until we get to spring, as a matter of fact. So you can see that our 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, our matching solid cardstock, our die cuts, our 6 by 6, our chipboard, and our cutting dies are all right here, and they are ready for you right now. If you are interested and would like to get our collections, we do one every single month. We do have a subscription. Oh my goodness, we just happen to have a subscription. We have it called I Want It All, and it would be everything except the cutting die. And this is what you can sign up for. It's over on the right side of your screen. You will get everything before we do the webisode, so that's a nice bonus. Now, if you would like to have maybe I really want it all, we would include the cutting die, and that can be yours too. You would want to sign up for I really want it all over on the right-hand side of your screen. Same deal. Oh, and by the way, on both of these, you would get a 20% discount. So that's a nice reason to subscribe also. So you're going to get them first. You're going to get them at a discount. And that's always good to have. Now, as I said, all of the projects have descriptions and complete directions down below. They're all there ready for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, we hope that you will like us. We hope that you will comment. Tell us what you think of this collection. And the fact that it will transition all the way through next year, which is our goal as we come up with things toward the end of the year. And we hope that you will subscribe. So please then come on over to paperwishes.com. We have a money saver on the right side of our screen because kind of everything goes on the right side. And I want to thank Teresa for doing such an outstanding job. And I want to thank you for being part of the Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.